Well, earlier I spoke to Darryl Collis from Seesaw Media, an agency which makes its living by placing products in films and TV under the current rules. And I began by asking him how big the commercial demand for product placement, or paying for it, might be. And though news will not have product placement under the new rules, we tried to imagine the sort of studio which might become a bit more familiar.
Yeah, a lot of the big FMCG brands and the big advertisers who currently advertise on television are looking to get within the programme, and so they're looking to commit large sums of money to get involved in product placement.
And how do you think it would work? Would the money end up going to the broadcasters or to the producers?
Well, that's the big question, and that's why probably there's a three-month consultation to look at that, because no one knows where it's going to go. Because, for example, in the UK, you have someone like Simon Cowell and his production company who make the X Factor, but ITV buy it. So where does the money go if he's doing a deal with Coca-Cola, for example? In America, it's a different format. What happens is the studios make, or the channels make their own programmes, so they keep all the revenue that's generated from it. So it's a very big question of who's going to get the money.
Because if the broadcasters don't get the money, it's not going to go anywhere to fill the holes in their coffers from the advertising recession.
No, exactly. So, I mean, what's going to happen is maybe they'll pay less for the programme.
And do you think this will increase the overall amount of television money going into commercial television? Or will companies say, well, if we're going to spend 10 million quid this year on product placement, we're going to reduce our advertising spend by that much?
I think what will happen is it will stop the flow of money leaving television, because a lot of people are spending their money, are looking to get where the audience is, and whether that's online or other formats, they're chasing those avenues. So if you were to say, well, actually now the audience is coming back here and we can advertise and we can get the brands, advertisers to be on screen, then that's where they'll go.
What are they going to want in return? I mean, if you're putting millions of pounds into a big show, you're going to want some say in it, aren't you?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's all depends on what sort of show it is. I mean, for example, the millions of pound shows are going to go in trusted formats that work. Things like The X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, they all work, and we know that they generate the viewers. But what's going to happen is, therefore, if a brand wants to get involved with that, they can say, right, like for example, Coca-Cola, they put their brand on the table. That's fine for them. But you're right, certain brands can say, well, listen, you're right, I'm buying media. I want to get the editorial.
But then
content.
they could start saying, well, I don't like that presenter. She's too old. He's the wrong demographic. That raises some sinister, possibilities.
No, definitely. It definitely raises that, because the brand is not a programme maker, and the programme maker is not an advertiser. So you need to find the right balance for that.
Do you think the brands can be trusted with that kind of power? I mean, you work with them. Sure. You know how cynical they are.
No, of course. What they're looking for is they're looking for the greatest ROI. And so, therefore, if they're
ROI?
Return of investment.
Right.
So if they're going to have a say in what's going on air, then, and if that helps generate extra revenue for them or extra sales, then they will get involved.
Darryl Collis, and the kind of studio that could never, ever happen in the future under the new rules.